Previously on New Crits on the Block.
The boiler room is in front of you.
We're looking for a safe.
You prowl around the room, and it's a good thing that you were careful because there is a guy in there. He's shoveling coal into the boiler. You walk up to this safe, and inside you see a number of spirit vessels. Here's the problem. None of them say Bazos. You attune to the supernatural energies that are pouring out of this safe, and it takes some time, but you do finally pinpoint the one that belongs to him. And you guys escape into Duskfall as you run away from the steamboat. You have stolen exactly what you meant to steal. You even got that little box. Who knows what's in that thing? Congratulations, scoundrels. And welcome back to New Crits on the Block presents Blades in the Dark, a name that we figured something else. We're going to call it something else, but then we
presents.
I don't know.
Oh,
wait,
what did we decide?
We came up with some other name. Ben? We came up with some other name for this, and I can't remember it now because it's been
New Blades.
Well, it's Tales from the Crits, but I think that was just for one episode.
No, the problem is,
we were workshopping something.
Well, the problem
we're not changing the podcast name.
Yeah, Christy, we're just a logo, guys.
We're just kicking you off of it. Christy, we got some bad news for you.
No.
Also, can you still make the graphics for us?
No, she already did for this new one. So that's why we're talking to her now.
Each week as well.
Every week a new logo, you assholes.
Yeah.
What do you think I am, Matt? I'm not making new shit every week.
You wish.
When we last left off,
God damn it.
You guys all escaped from the Fog Hound. You completed your mission without completely stressing out or dying, which is usually a pretty good day in Duskfall because the city sucks ass and death and failure is a everyday occurrence. So honestly, you're like ahead of the curve.
Hooray!
So yeah, look at it that way.
We're so good at this.
So if you look down at your map, you guys were very close to the Gaddock rail station, which is in the bottom right corner of your map there on the southern end. That's where the ship was going to dock and transport the vessel to the railway and take it to somewhere. You're not entirely sure where. You now need to get back to your secret hideout located in the back of the brothel, the Ghost Hole, which I am just loving. That name. I'm so happy that I'm your friend.
You're welcome.
We're not going to necessarily make you roll dice to get back there. It's pretty simple. You guys can get back there, back to Silk Shore. Any means you see fit. Would you stick together or would you split up or how exactly would you guys do this?
I don't think we would stick together.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Not
okay.
With the heat, not with the heat that we left.
Yeah, I accidentally.
Accidentally?
Yeah, it was an accident.
It was an accident.
Okay.
I was trying to use all my strength to not kill him.
That's a wild sentence.
Is that the quote already? Right off the bat?
I think that's the quote already.
I think that's the quote already. I'm going to write that down real quick.
Right off the rip.
Continue.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to use my superhuman strength to not murder him. And surprise, his head popped off of the rest of his spine, I guess. Or I just broke it. One of the two.
Something happened.
Yeah,
so we're gonna enter the downtime part of Blades in the Dark. You're basically you have your planning stages and your role play stages. You then have the score, which we just did, and then you have your downtime. And this is where you get paid for your job, assuming you succeeded. as well as you find out how much heat you accumulated, whatever entanglements may have happened along the way, and then you get your actual downtime activities where you do stuff. And so let's just get right off into it. So we're going to go ahead and say, according to the rules, the immediate thing that happens after a score is completed is payoff. So what we'll say is that you guys make your way individually back to Silk Shore, to the ghost hole. Along the way, you all take different routes, and you see different aspects of the city on the way. Jake, on the way back, Arlo, he cuts through Coal Ridge, and on the way he sees, sites of poverty, other native Skolanders living in abject poverty. In fact, as you are trying to look fairly anonymous, you notice a carriage pull up, pulled by large goats. By the way, that is what that is the mode of transportation in Duskfall. They don't have horses; they have Akarosi goats that actually pull things. They're kind of like draft animals. And out of it, a group of spirit wardens jumps out. These are well known within the city of Duskfall. They are dispatched whenever someone has died. There are supernatural crows afoot that are aware of death. And when someone has died, the crows seek them out and alert the spirit wardens, who then arrive on scene and gather up the body to ensure that the ghost is that the body does not release its soul and turn into a ghost within the city. And these spirit wardens, you see them show up with their bronze masks, and they actually go over to these kids, and the kids appear to be hiding something, and ultimately they end up pushing them out of the way, and they find a young, you see them pull out the body of a young child who appears to have died somehow. You're not entirely sure exactly what happened, but the children seem to be protesting. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a sibling or a relative, but the spirit wardens pay them no mind, and they put the body inside a small box that they have runes engraved. They wrap in tape written in black runes on it, and they pour black salt all over it, and they shove it in the back of the carriage, and they wheel away. And this is one of the things that you see. You see many things walking back, but this is one of the things that really sticks in your mind, is just the terrible poverty that exists within this city and what you're forced to deal with on a near day-to-day basis.
Just like
Christy. Yeah, kind of like LA. You're just driving home from just any day at LA. Your city sucks.
Thanks.
Shout out to LA.
Jake just told us that he was running late. It's now 10 o'clock at night on a Monday because he was stuck in traffic at 9 p.m. in LA. So just let that sink in. Jake was stuck in traffic at 9 p.m. in LA.
It's a Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday, and they were doing road work, but they're always doing road work.
I don't know what day it is. I've been busy. And I'm drinking. All right. Christy, Lila.
He's supposed to leave today.
Lila, you see Christy's character, Lila, sees a somewhat similar situation. She also cuts through a different part of the city. In fact, she makes her way through Crow's Foot, which is a particularly poor part of the city, and she sees other ladies of the night and men of the night, prostitutes belonging to oftentimes a group that a faction actually referred to as the Doxies, and they are plying their trade on the street. Many of them look downtrodden, sickly, bruised, beaten. Few have protection. Just another day trying to scrape up basic coinage within the cities of Duskfall. Brian, I'm going to go ahead and say your character passes through the rot fields of on the southern tip of Dunslow, or Dunslav, or however you pronounce that. And I've been trying to think of a great way to explain how the fuck does alcohol exist in this world? Because there's no sun, which means there's no plants. And most of your food comes from like fungus and then like fish that are poisonous. And I kept trying to Google, like, can you make alcohol out of meat? And
so there's no like kelp or something in like the water in the docks and shit. Like you can ferment that.
Mushroom alcohol.
Interestingly enough, I tried to see if you could make mushroom alcohol. It was kind of hard to look into, but I figured it out. I figured out just truly a fucking terrible way to describe how to make alcohol in Duskfall, a city with no night.
People.
Well, actually, no, I did look up whether or not you can make alcohol out of liver, because liver has carbs in it, because liver's where you store your carbs in the form of glycogen.
You got red flagged, Ben.
I sure did.
There's no way.
I
your
was
search
telling
history hasn't
NSA
gone
is
off.
onto you, dude. They're like, and he's traveling to Canada? What?
Yeah, somehow I get pulled out of line tomorrow when I'm trying to get on the plane.
No, you cannot search my cooler.
No, you can't search my liver. Yeah, no. So there is a this is a real thing that exists in this world. There is a bee out there called a vulture bee. It's basically a hornet. It eats rotten animals. It eats carcasses and stuff like hornets do. The thing is that when it eats these things, it makes from it royal jelly, which is what they feed to their larvae. It's very similar to how we as mammals make milk and feed it to our children. And that royal jelly is highly sugary. So they basically make meat honey. And we all know what you can make with honey.
Mead.
And that's mead.
Yeah.
So you pass by a rot farm specifically designed to feed vulture bees or giant hornets, consuming carcasses of rotten fish, in which they make meat honey, which is then gathered up and produced into what you guys drink to get wasted in Duskfall, mead, which tastes kind of like fish.
Honestly, if that's all they got.
Yum.
But you know what? It's about the only way you can make a decent alcohol, unless you get into the radiant crops, which you also pass by, which are really fancy, nice, genetically modified fruits and vegetables that produce their own light and energy. And nobody can fucking afford that unless you're the ultra rich, which you are not
Yet.
Not yet.
And Zinc, he just kind of makes it home quietly. Nothing really happens. He's stealthy as hell. Don't worry. I'm sure I'll have something to tell you about later.
Okay.
And you make it back to the ghost hole. What do you do?
We all get back there together?
Eventually, you all arrive one after the other back to the ghost hole. You get in quietly one at a time. You're expert, theoretically, thieves, shadows. You would know how to get inside, one at a time quietly. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Well, that was a close one.
Well, this dress is ruined. I did not anticipate getting in the water today, boys. What happened back there?
You missed the dock.
I did my part. You were supposed to get us an escape route. Where was it?
The dock that you missed.
I don't think you missed the dock. I think you cut your arm. But sure, you can miss the dock. Whatever. We can say you got wet.
The point is, we were not supposed to have to get into the water. And we did.
Zink,
And
Did you get in the water?
I didn't get in the water, no. Everything went fine
Rufus?
for me. I'm not sure what y'all are complaining about, except for you, Mr. Big Man. Hey, Mr. Big Man, we weren't supposed to kill nobody, but apparently
Yeah.
you did.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Mr.
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Big
Things
Man,
got
with your big old
messy.
ripply muscles. We were supposed to go in there all quiet like, and Mr. Big Man over here with the big old ripply muscles. What'd you do? You went in there and you went.
He had a weak
You
neck.
you popped that little man's neck off like it was a grape. Do we have grapes? I don't know. Like it was like a rotten fish, right off the body,
Like the eyes out of a rotten fish, yes.
like the bulging eyes. Like the
Where are
bulging
you
eyes right
arguing?
out. I don't know. It's somewhere in the ghost
Inside
hole.
my room, I assume.
Yeah.
Excellent. As you guys are all arguing inside your room, talking about the people you murdered loudly.
Person
You murdered loudly.
he murdered.
You hear from in the corner, somebody speak who you swear was not there a second ago. So I'll take it you completed the task.
Oh my God, who let him in here?
Oh, nobody, but don't worry about that. That's not why you're here or why I'm here. What we're here to discuss is, did you get the bottle?
Did he sound like Dr. Seuss for like just a second?
Kind of, and I'm a little concerned that he does just keep getting into my room. Somehow this is.
You should lock the window.
Are you getting in through the window?
Did you not lock the window?
Okay, well, I like a breeze at night. Did you get in through the window?
As you said, when you looked away, initially when you looked at him, when you asked that question, the window was open a crack. And when you look back to be snarky at, I think, Arlo, and you look back at him, the window is now shut, but the drapes are still blowing ever so slightly. No.
I feel like he got in the window, guys. I think that's how he did it.
Yeah, we completed the job. That's what you're talking about. Of course we did. You're talking to Zig the Stink. He never leaves a job unfinished. Go ahead, show him the thing. Who has it?
Yeah, who has that?
That's a great
I think you did,
question.
Zink.
I thought it was me, but apparently I don't have items that I said I did. To
That is
the
true.
GM.
For some reason, they just get passed around.
They just
however,
get passed around to someone else. So I don't know. Apparently, if I have them, I
would
have them. But
like.
apparently, I'm not sure who has them at this point.
I'm not either. Let's just say someone has them.
Let's just
You
say
talking
I
about
have
the
them.
face?
Is that okay?
Mr. Bazos' soul.
Yes.
I think pull it out from one of my pouches, one of the many pouches I have.
I think
I
it was
produce
me
it.
actually.
Wait,
that
you
had
pulled-
it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what did Zink pull out
I don't know.
from his pouch?
I don't know, apparently.
You have nothing in there. It's weird.
I got nothing in there. Go ahead, pull it.
Pull it. No, pull it out. Go ahead.
Fine, I do it. Here it is.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Stick stands up and walks over to you. You have not actually seen him get up and move yet, because up until now, he did actually.
Was he
got up and
squatting?
move. He was sitting in a chair.
Oh, okay. I thought he was
and
just
as he-
squatting and like doing like
Yeah.
a wall squat.
No,
Kinda
as he
sitting.
walks over to you to get the bottle, it seems like he almost hovers a little bit. It's very clear that he's walking, but underneath his trench coat and it almost seems like he's, normally when you step, you kind of go up and down a little bit naturally as you would walk. He doesn't seem to do that. It's almost like he's floating, but when you look at his feet, he is indeed walking on the ground. It's very odd. And he reaches out and he takes a hold of the vessel, and he only has 2 of his eyes open right now, but then he opens all 4 of them, and they begin to alternately flash black and white, like back and forth, almost like a code, like different ones are flashing at different times as he's holding this bottle. Yes, this is Mr. Bazos' soul.
Not so easy, is it, Ben?
My
Get him,
name
Jake,
is
get him.
Mr. My name is
Bazos.
Sticks. You appear to be mistaken.
Mr. Biz Nasty.
I believe we agreed on 6 coin. So at this point, we're going to get into proper payoff. So first things first, let's go ahead and mark that 6 coin. That is step 1 of payoff is you get.
Is that in the crew?
So your crew can't hold 6 coin. You can only hold a total of 4. So what I'm going to say is everyone mark 1 coin on your individual sheet, and I'll put 2 in the crew, if that sounds like a good idea.
That's fine.
1 on the sheet, 2 in the crew.
I was just going to say 1 in the sheet, 2 in the crew.
2 in the crew.
Is that another quote already?
Everyone at this point should have 1 coin on their sheet, and then we have three coin in the crew for a total of 7. Yeah, now you can move coin out of your personal holdings into your stash whenever you see fit. Like if you have more than you can hold, i.e. if you have more than 4 coin, then you have to put it in your stash. Because holding up any more than 4 coin at a time is just impractical. It's like trying to carry around a chest of gold. It's just this ain't D&D. You can't just have 40,000 gold on your person at any given time. It's like, no,
You are overburdened.
yes, you are. Yeah. So you can put it in your stash, and you want to put coin in your stash eventually because if your character,
Hell yeah.
if your character runs out of stress and is forced to retire from scoundreling as opposed to adventuring, their stash dictates how good or shitty their life is moving forward. So worth it to do. Think about it as you move forward. So that is your coin. You also earn rep. So rep is earned as per the following, he says with confidence. Here it is. So the crew earns 2 rep per score by default. If the target of the score is of a higher tier, take +1 rep for the higher tier. If the target score is lower, take -1. You can't because you're tier 0. Nobody can be lower tier than you. They were actually a tier 1 organization, and I was supposed to be giving you guys disadvantage or -1 dice with every roll, or limited effect. I was supposed to be giving you guys limited effect with every roll, but I forgot because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and give you a standard 3 rep, which is 2 plus the 1 you should have had. I should have given you anyway. Plus, I got to get you guys out of tier 0 so that you could actually have some exciting things to do. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a 3 rep. So underneath the crew worksheet, you can see underneath the word layer, it says rep. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. There you go. You got 3. Once you gain enough rep, then you're able to advance your tier. Right now, you're tier 0. You make up to tier 1, you become more powerful. And you can do more cool shit. It's good to have happen. But you're certainly not there yet because you're only had 1 score. Next comes heat. So the rules state for heat: after a score or conflict with an opponent, the crew takes heat. Add +1 heat for a high profile or well-connected target. Add +1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. Add +1 heat if you're at war. Add +2 heat if killing was involved. And then on the right side of the screen, it says the base amount of heat you gain is 0 if you're smooth and quiet, low exposure. 2 if it was contained, standard exposure. 4 if it was loud and chaotic, high exposure. Or 6 if it was wild, devastating exposure. What kind of exposure do you guys think you had?
Probably the third one.
No.
Loud and chaotic?
No, we weren't loud and chaotic.
It was not loud and
didn't know we were there.
Okay, then what would you consider to be... Okay, what is loud and chaotic then?
I would say like it's a whole
knowing.
city. Oh, I would say like a whole city.
No, the fourth one would be the
Whole city, yeah.
No, the third one would be there were witnesses, there were people that are still alive that probably saw our face. That sounds pretty chaotic. Somebody died.
So you wanted me to kill more people, is what you're saying.
I feel like it was contained. The whole ship didn't know. The whole ship didn't know. We were exposed, the people we encountered, but we had it contained. It didn't get loud and chaotic.
We had it contained until the end.
Okay, but people talk, so I guess I don't understand what you mean by contained.
Because didn't the whole boat know at the end there that we were there?
So this part is where you basically, let me tell you what you guys want less heat generally. This is the part where you try to convince me that you were smooth and quiet and nobody
Yeah, come on, Brian.
Better.
What are you doing? Teacher, we have a pop quiz. Come on.
But obviously it wasn't smooth and quiet.
I almost hit the body.
It almost was.
Yeah, the person I killed, they didn't see him at all until probably much later.
I'll take a 3. I'll take a 3 heat. Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. No, I think that you guys honestly deserve
2
heat, which is contain standard exposure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then you killed someone. So
Yeah,
you
that's
get +2 for that.
Jake.
So it
Well,
becomes +4.
Here's the thing, dude. He had a weak neck. It's not my fault.
Well,
No,
check
it's
their neck
not.
before you get them.
That you guys actually did really good. And had you not rolled that 5 as opposed to a 6 and not accidentally killed that guy using superhuman strength, it would have just stayed at 2 heat. But unfortunately, you killed someone, so it's 4 heat. That's not that bad, all things considered. Considering that could have ended with you. Remember how you almost said you smashed those bottles? That would have released all the ghosts inside. That would have been bad. That would have been a lot more heat.
Oh, I didn't know there was ghosties inside of it. Okay,
Because
Sounded
I
like
would have
so much
smashed him.
fun.
it sounded like a lot of fun.
So I'm going to give you guys 4 heat for that. And the reason why you got to know how much heat you get is because the next thing we do is we do entanglements. So it says under entanglements, this is the third part of it. And we're almost to the part where you guys get to just decide what you want to do. After payoff, roll dice equal to your wanted level. You currently have no wanted level, so it would be just 1 dice. And read the result according to your heat. So I need somebody to roll a single dice. You can just do a fortune dice.
Not me.
Not
No,
Brian, not
no,
Brian, not
Brian, Brian, no, Brian.
No.
It's redemption. It's redemption time.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
All right. well, let's
Okay,
do it.
Yeah, I
Brian.
do.
Okay, Brian. No.
So wait, what do I-
Wait, do we want high or low?
High.
Yeah.
You want lower.
We
Brian,
want lower.
Brian.
Okay, then this is your
Oh,
jam, babe.
okay.
You got
yeah,
this.
Yeah, you're gonna nail it, dude.
Which is exactly why he's going to roll good now.
Wait. So why do we want lower?
Well, because the way it works is it states roll dice equal to your wanted level and read the result according to your heat. I think you take the
We're not
highest
wanted,
number.
are we?
No, you're not, but you still always at least roll 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you roll a 1 through a 3 for how much heat you have, heat 4 or 5, you have 4, you get gang trouble or questioning. A 4 or 5, you get reprisals or unquiet dead. And 6, you get straight up show of force. And then it has like a detail thing.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
Show
then,
of
yeah,
force
roll
is
low.
more impactful than gang troubles, but we just got to see what you roll.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, Brian, go ahead.
So he's got to roll 1 dice. So click on something and
Just
1d.
then you have
1d6,
one-
yeah.
Yep. Just something you have 1 dot in. A 4. Okay. So my little thingy here says a 4. It is either reprisals or unquiet dead. An enemy faction makes a move against you or a friend, contact, or vice purveyor. Pay them 1 rep and 1 coin per tier of the enemy as an apology. Allow them to mess with you and yours or fight back and show them who's boss. You don't really have an enemy faction yet. And I don't think the Foghounds really know who you are and what happened. The next one is kind of perfect. Unquiet dead. A rogue spirit is drawn to you. Perhaps it's a past victim. Acquire the services of a whisper or railjack to attempt to destroy or banish it, or deal with it yourself.
Okay.
So what I'm going to go ahead and say is he was just holding this spirit vial in his hand as he was trying to, speak with it. And as he was doing this, it shatters in his hands. Everything looks fine and well contained and controlled. And then all of a sudden, those flickering eye situation he has going on just starts going faster and faster and faster. And then the scene from Spider-Man plays out where Doc Ock is trying to contain the ball of fire, and he's like, "I have it contained," and then it blows up because that's exactly what happens. And upon doing this, it is for but a moment you see into the ghost field. So the ghost field is basically where all of the spirits roam. And they are essentially kept out of the city by all the lightning towers that surround the city. But for but a moment, when this spirit vial shatters in the area, you all see a vast emptiness, almost like you turned on clipping in a game, and now you can see through walls. And you guys just see, as far as the eye can see, an expanse stretching outward into the Deathlands of just an incalculable amount of ghosts. Many terrifying, others too far to see or notice. Some appear closer than you know they are. But Bazos, as it backs away and fades into incorporealness and vanishes, has a look of absolute delight on its face. And then it vanishes. And Styx, holding the shattered bottle, just goes, okay, that's never happened before.
Hey everyone, it's your favorite player, Matt, and welcome to this week's Middle Break. All right, so we did our first score. Hopefully we're all understanding how the game works at this point. I think we all as players do. So everything will run a little smoother and quicker here from this point on. That was something we wanted to focus on, was to kind of get into the mechanics right off the rip. And then everything will move a little faster and a little more seamlessly now that we all understand how everything works in this game. So hopefully you enjoyed it so far. Hopefully you have kept up with everything and how it all works. And now we're just going to start sliding into everything a little more seamlessly here. We're all having a ton of fun, and we're excited to see where this story is going to take us. There's a few things you could do to help our podcast grow so you can see where this story will continue to take us and even more adventures to come. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review to our podcast wherever you get our podcast from. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whichever podcatcher you use, go there, hit the subscribe button, download our episodes, leave a 5-star review, and write a little synopsis about why you like our podcast so people who come across it might see it and think that they would enjoy it too. Also, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on Twitter at New Crits, and on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at New Crits on the Block. It's the best way to keep up with all things New Crits. We're always posting stuff on there. Best way to help us out there is repost those pieces of content onto your own stories, onto your own feeds, or tag people you think that might be interested in it. We are only growing through word of mouth, so you all doing those things helps us out a ton. It's a small ask, but I promise you it really does go a long way. One of the ways we like to give back to our community is we have a Discord. Yes, it is a Discord for all things New Crits, but not all things New Crits. You can come into the Discord, talk about the show, talk to the cast members, talk to other fans, but we also have places just to come and hang out and chill. As a safe, inclusive space we have built up over the last few years. So if you haven't become a part of our clan and our gang yet, well, what the heck are you waiting for? Now, you might be thinking, well, Matt, I want to help you do all these things, but how do I get to all the places that you just mentioned? Well, from our link tree, of course, linktr.ee/newcrits on the block will get you to all the places that I mentioned and some places that I didn't even have time to mention. linktr.ee/newcrits on the block. It is your central hub for all things New Crits. All right, everyone, let's get you back into this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening so far. As you know, we come out with new episodes every single Monday. That ain't stopping anytime soon. So let's get you back into this one. We will see you next week. Until then, be safe out there. Be kind to each other. Be excellent to each other. We love you all. Bye-bye.
What did you just do?
Let's not worry about that. That was not something of your concerns. 6 coin, as we agreed. Attempting to change the subject, he hands you the 6 coin. You got your 6 coin.
Well, I'm not exactly satisfied with that. What did you just do to him?
I guess I'm more concerned what you do with us. What did I just see?
That was not pleasant.
We'll be in touch. And he stands up and proceeds to try to climb out the window.
God damn it. I knew that's where he came from.
It's obvious where he came from. The window was unlocked.
I like a breeze.
And as the window shuts behind him, as it closes, the latch on the window inside somehow clicks down. And you are all left alone in this room, ready to proceed with your next downtime activity, the last stage of this, which is downtime. So downtime, you guys get, each one of you gets 2 actions, and those 2 actions can be any number of things. I'll list them real quick, but it says during downtime, you may perform additional activities from the list by spending 1 coin or 1 rep. Coin and rep are hard to come by, so don't do that unless you really think you need to. For any downtime roll, add +1 die to the roll if you get help from a friend or contact. So, for example, if Brian were to go to his physiker, he would get +1 roll because it's his friend. After the roll, you may increase the result level by 1 for each coin you wish to spend. So if you're like, God, I really wish I had a critical there, you can spend a coin and make it a critical. Sometimes it's better just to get another downtime action. We'll figure that out as we go. And that will just increase the result by 1. So, let's talk about your downtime activities that you can do and who wants to start. The downtime activities that you have are Indulge Vice. You visit a purveyor of your vice and roll dice equal to your lowest attribute. There's a button that says Indulge Vice. You just click on it. And you clear stress equal to your highest die result. If you clear more stress than you have marked, you overindulge and then you get a bad thing. You can train, which is where you just mark XP for going up a level. You just mark XP. You can reduce heat. You just say how you reduce heat on the crew, and then you roll dice accordingly. So you can be like, oh, I blame it on someone else by doing X, Y, and Z. And then you roll dice and we see how well it goes and get to role play it out. You can recover, which is you get treatment and tick off your healing clock. Basically, once you get 4 ticks on your healing clock, your level 1 harm goes away, or your level 2 harm becomes a level 1 harm. Long-term project and acquire asset. These are things where if you want to like do a thing that's a little outside of the game, you're like, I want to build a giant bomb. I'm going to be like, okay, well, that's a process. I can't just let you have that. That would be a long-term project. Or you're like, I want to get Van Helsing to help me hunt this vampire. I'm like, well, then you need to acquire an asset. I'm just going to let you have Van Helsing. So that's where that kind of comes in. And as the game kind of proceeds, you guys will kind of like figure out when you want to do those things. Long-term projects generate clocks, kind of like when we had the clock on the boat where I was like, arrive at your destination. That long-term projects have clocks. Yeah. So who wants to start and what do they want to do?
I'll start.
Okay. And you know what? I'm so sorry. Before we start, there is actually one. We'll do this all at once. This will work out well. Let's start Rufus by marking down XP for completing the score. So it says every time you roll a desperate action, mark XP in the action attribute. You did that already. You can see you have 1 from your insight. Mm-hmm. This is all listed underneath your special abilities on the left-hand side of your screen. And it says at the end of each session, for each item below, mark 1 XP, or instead mark 2 XP if that occurred multiple times. First thing, you addressed a challenge with tracking or violence.
Quite a few times.
Did you do that?
Sorry, is that a question or are you just saying?
I'm asking you a question. Did you address a challenge with tracking or violence? This is kind of hard because we're doing it like a week after the recording. Normally this would be the day of.
Yeah. I would say no, but
I can think of one instance in the very beginning.
You tracked.
You took out your binoculars and you did some surveying of the boat.
Okay, is survey and tracking the same thing?
I'm gonna say it is. Yeah, this game is designed to be pretty lenient on specifics. Yeah, so
he looked in a lot of windows.
Yeah, what's that you said?
I said he looked in a lot of windows. Might not have seen much, but he definitely looked in.
Tom.
Oh no, I got found. I didn't see anything. Somebody saw me.
I mean, they tracked you. It didn't say who's doing the tracking. Okay, you know what? You did do a lot of surveying on that. I'm going to give you 2 points for that. And then it says you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. You didn't really ever talk about being Ceravosi or anything. And
we didn't do a whole lot of talking.
You lost some drugs. You had drugs and you lost them. That probably upset you.
That's a drive.
Yeah. I'll give you a point for that. Click one more. All right.
You're very
and then it
generous,
says
man.
you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas. Well, I guess that's more it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you got the point for. Okay. So now you got those 3 points. And then I'll mention you had that 1 tick in insight up there. The rules are odd about this. You can basically move your points wherever you want them. So if you want to, you can take that 1 tick in insight and you can move it into your playbook advancement if you want to, or you can keep them all where they are. At any point, if you want to like move some of these ticks out of your attributes into your playbook advancement, you can do it. Once you fully fill up one of these bars, then you advance in that thing. Playbook advancement would give you a new special ability. Abilities gives you new abilities. Right now, you don't have enough to do anything, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
All right. Now, what would you like to do for your first downtime activity?
Probably, I don't know, I'll indulge vice.
Sounds great. So remind me, your vice is...
Drugs and alcohol.
Stupor, likes drugs and alcohol. Okay. So just go ahead and click that indulge vice button.
Boink. Okay.
And let's really hope you don't... Before you do that, you have 4 stress. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you will overindulge and something bad will happen to you. It's not the end of the world, but it is not the best thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just letting you know. However, going into a score with 4 stress is also not good. So it's kind of up to you to decide how you want to do it. But I just want to let you know that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it.
I would probably think it's a good idea too. So you're always you're rolling your lowest.
Yay!
Oh. Well, that's
Better.
so go ahead and remove one of those stress bars.
What did I roll? I didn't. God damn it.
You rolled a 1.
God, I'm so fucking good.
Well,
it continues.
It continues.
So give yourself 3 stress now, because now you had 4, you have 3.
Yep.
So now you get to role play this out. What did you do about going and doing drugs and alcohol to indulge your vice that resulted in rolling a 1?
I imagine after what's his bucket slipped out of the window, I would have quietly tried to slip out of the door and just go downstairs, to the bar, or not even downstairs. I don't know how this place is laid out, but just go to the bar.
That's how it is now. It's downstairs.
And
which means that Styx has to climb down a side of a house.
Well, there's one of those like the vines growing up the side. So
there's no plants in this world.
Oh, you're right.
Anyway, so what do you mushroom vines?
So he would ask, for, some flavor of mind altering drug to get his fix, but they don't have it. They only have this meat jelly mead shit that you just described.
Yeah,
which he doesn't like. He's more of a drug guy than an alcohol guy. But
yeah, Cynthia the barkeep says, "Yeah, we don't really carry any illicit substances here. Not that we have a problem with that. I just got to kind of keep a low profile. I do have a nice batch of meat mead."
I mean, is there anybody here? Do you know anyone? I can't do the mead right now, but no, you know what? I'll just take it. It's been a long day.
She kind of leans in and gives you a little wink and goes, "You got it, honey," as she pushes the meat over.
Give her a little side smile, acknowledging the joke.
Yeah. it tastes it's not a good batch. It tastes like fish. It tastes like rotten fish, but it gets you drunk. And you get kind of drunk off of really gross alcohol. You can do another downtime activity now if you'd like to, or somebody else can take their turn, and you can always do another one later.
I'll do one later.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All righty. Let's start with the XP down below.
Yep.
You already got your desperate actions there. We took care of that.
Yep.
Next one, you address a challenge with stealth or evasion. We're just going to go ahead and give you 2 points real quick.
Hell of times.
So go ahead and give yourself 2 points in playbook advancement there.
Okay.
Excellent. Next one is you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Does he believe in
I don't-
stealth? Because he definitely pushed that narrative.
No, that would be the same.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if I really talked about my heritage or
Beliefs?
background.
Drives. I don't
beliefs.
think so.
Drives.
I believe in. He's not really a fan of like.
You said
He's not
lone
really a-
wolf a lot.
Yeah, I believe in being a lone wolf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did
I don't know
mention
if
that.
that
You
counts.
you expressed it. That's for
That's
certain.
background.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
for sure.
Right, at least.
Yeah.
Give yourself
background.
1 point
Yeah.
for that.
All
Give
right.
yourself 1 point
Belief.
for that. And then you
I
struggled
didn't-
with
No.
Because
yeah,
what's your
struggled with
vice
issues
again?
from vice or trauma.
Gambling.
Gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
He
Okay,
took a
3
gamble
points
on
it
us.
I did, and it did not pay off.
No, it did pay off. You got a coin out of the
Yeah, I
job,
guess that's true.
which is like a week's worth of pay. It's not nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
In one day. What downtime activity are you going to take?
I'm going to let off some stress here.
Indulge vice.
I know it's kind
All
of
right.
a 50-50, but
Yeah, you got 3 ticks, but let's see what happens.
I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to try. Why not?
Well,
4.
Oh, dang.
All right, well,
Close
give her
though.
all your stress because you did.
Okay.
You did indulge your vice successfully.
I want to see what happens.
Yeah, you overindulge. So let's go ahead and look at overindulging. If your vice roll clears more stress levels than you had marked, you overindulge. A vice is not a reliable, controllable habit. It's a
Mhm.
risk, and one that can drive your character to act against their own best interests. Matt, what is your vice?
Gambling.
Zinc likes to gamble.
He
When you
does.
overindulge, you make a bad call because of your vice in acquiring it or while under its influence. To bring the effects of the bad decision into the game, select an overindulgence from the list. Attract trouble, roll an additional engagement. Brag about your exploits, get +2 heat. Lost, you straight up vanish as a character and you got to make a new one for a while. Or tapped, your current purveyor cuts you off and you have to find a new source for your vice.
I mean, which one makes sense for the story?
I
Not
feel
lost.
I feel like tapped. Would,
No, that would make no sense because no. Ben has a story here. We can't do that.
Well,
no,
this
no,
is just
not
like
lost.
this
Trouble
is,
would be good.
no, tapped.
this is just about you gambling.
Yeah. Tapped
Yeah.
is your purveyor cuts you off. So like you get
Yeah, but-
86 from the just
The card haul or wherever
just
the
the
fuck
card
you
haul.
I guess
yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I
not
think
not
attracts
trouble would
lost.
be-
I don't think it's bad. Or attract trouble. I guess would be the other. I don't think Zinc would brag or just
No.
dip for a week.
No. Yeah, I guess getting cut off for a while because he just
Okay.
overdoes it.
Where's your normal place you go to go gambling?
Flippies. I like to go to
Flippies.
Flippies.
All right.
Flippies.
And what is Flippies?
Flippies is a card haul.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
All
Flip them
right.
cards, boy.
So
Yep,
Flippy's
that's right.
the card haul.
Yeah.
And the purveyor, Flippy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Of course.
Well, it's just called Flippies. The guy who runs it isn't named Flippy.
All right, what's his name? It's
Timbo.
It's your card haul.
Timbo.
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 So Timbo is this big, smelly guy.
Yep.
And he
That's his last name.
Timbo, big smelly guy. Got it.
No. Timbo's his last name.
Oh, what's his first name?
Jimbo.
Jimbo Timbo. So Jimbo Timbo, who's a big smelly guy, he
makes me feel
he
Say the whole
notices
thing.
that
And he owns what?
he owns Flippies, the card haul.
Say the whole thing for me.
Jimbo
need it. Come
Timbo,
on.
the big smelly guy who owns Flippy's the Card Hall.
Thank you.
Master
He catches you counting cards.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Hey, Zinc,
Hmm?
get the
What?
fuck out.
Why? Come on, Jimbo Timbo. Come on. Just because I'm up a little bit. Come on. You've taken bigger losses than this, and I've lost bigger than this.
Yeah, well, you're going to lose a lot tonight if you don't leave my establishment now.
JT, don't be like that. Come on now.
Come on,
I'm
Jimmy
your best
Timmy.
customer. Jimmy Timmy. We go back a long ways.
Jesus. He motions over to another big burly guy who's working by the door who looks exactly like him. Who I'm now deciding is his twin. His twin's name is
Flimbo Bimbo. Don't need to get involved with this.
Flimbo Bimbo. For some reason,
Bimbo.
they have different last names.
What's his middle name?
You do not need to get involved with this Flimbo Bimbo, okay?
He has two
Flimbo
first names.
Bimbo.
Yeah, he has two first names.
Timbo.
Jimbo
Yeah.
Timbo, you do not. Okay, this does not have to become a whole family matter. Okay, just me and you talking. That's all it needs to be. Just calm down.
They both grab you under an arm and take you out and throw you outside of the card hall. You have been cut off as gambling as your vice, or at least you have to find a. If you want to continue to have gambling be your vice, I'm going to need you to acquire an asset. That's how you're going to have to fix that, or you have to come up with a new vice, which is fine. You can always come up with something else, but just make sure it's something interesting to the story. But for now, you have been blacklisted from Flippies.
Dang. Okay.
Darn.
Are you sure, Ben? Because that's a whole. Are you sure you want to
Yeah.
get rid of that?
just
I
wrote-
felt like that was your whole.
He just wrote
you
That was your
sure?
whole backstory.
Are you sure?
Come on.
All
we need
right.
more Timbo Jimbo.
All right.
Flimbo
And-
All right.
Flimbo Bimbo.
Come on.
Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Jake, let's pull open yours. So Jake, Arlo, Red Org. You addressed a challenge with violence or coercion. Let's give you 2 points for that.
Yeah.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Was when I was talking to the guy in the front, was that the same session?
No.
Okay, well then no.
No. And you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. You have no traumas yet, and your vice is sexy time. Not really.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
So
struggle
you
with
think-
that. Or at least
Okay.
Arlo doesn't.
Easy.
Well, let's see how this.
Yeah,
let's see.
Let me ask you a question, Jake. What are you going to do for your downtime activity?
Well, I have 5 stress.
That's a lot of stress.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I think
You might want to rub a few of those out.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So I'm gonna indulge my vice.
Okay.
So
Let's see how we do here. Don't roll a 6.
Oh,
wow.
perfectly a 5.
Oh,
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how good
yeah.
I am. All right. I knew exactly how
Um,
much stress I needed to relieve.
Okay.
Ew,
so
I don't like this.
So I'm going to completely get rid of all your stress. Great job. That's amazing. And I'd like to remind you that you do have a harm listed as twisted ankle. So however you relieve this stress, it didn't involve your ankle. I also wrote angle.
Are you
Let me
sure?
Just fix that. Well,
what if I up it to a 6? I'll take the
well, then
overindulge and
Yeah.
fix my ankle.
you would spend a coin to overindulge. I wouldn't advise
Oh
it.
yeah. No.
All right. How is it that you overindulge your vice? I don't need gratuitous detail about you banging some prostitute, but
no. Well,
explain to me what you do.
so Arlo's a simple man. He works at Go Soul.
He just goes inside, he just goes right to missionary, and then he goes right back out. Got it.
Honestly, probably. I don't think
All
he
right.
really is much of a romance kind of guy.
Is there a person in particular who works there that he usually goes to? I will remind you that we have had one person be introduced so far as a fellow prostitute. who works there by the name
Not your sister, 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 not your sister. I'm crossing my fingers and closing my eyes. hoping.
I was kind of thinking what is it? The person that
my nemesis.
Yeah. I forget her name.
Yeah,
Nyrix.
Nyrix.
But she doesn't like to be seen with me. So it's kind of a little bit more of like she gives me a signal and I, go and perform my duties and then go away. Like I'm kind of her prostitute.
Okay, I like this. This is fun. Okay, so yeah, you
This is fun.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is fun role playing prostitution with Jake.
We don't have to role play that.
No, but what we'll say is that
Can I excuse myself if that's what happens, please? I'll be back when it's over.
Yeah, no. So she kind of opens the door to her room.
Got to finish that sentence faster, Ben. I really need you to do a quicker sentence on that.
Oh, and that's essentially what she says is she looks over at Arlo and just goes, "Come on, hurry up." And you walk inside and fade to black. And the next scene is Arlo standing out. Yes, and the next scene is Arlo standing outside of the ghost hole, just looking just great.
Do they have like a cigarette in this world? Because they don't have tobacco.
Yeah, it's a powdered drug that you smoke.
So it's a drug. It's not like a.
It's a drug.
Well, I guess so. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a manufactured drug that you would get from a tinkerer or an apothecary, but it calms you down. It's like Valium. It's very weak Valium. It's just kind of like, there you go.
I'm outside smoking one of those.
Perfect. And then Christy, I guess you're next. What do you do other than plug your ears and cover your eyes?
I am also going to.
Oh, let's do your XP. Sorry, let's do your XP real quick.
Okay.
So you addressed a challenge with deception or influence.
Yes, I did.
Give you just 2 of those right off the bat.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You like to click things now. Hold on. There you go. You do it.
Yay.
Well,
okay.
Christy mentioned to me, she's like, I would like to actually know how to play this game. Let me do some stuff.
I want to do it.
You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I mean,
I was trying
you
to think about that.
deceived people by being a prostitute. Your background is as a noble.
I don't know if she.
And I was pretty firm about it's hard when it's not the same session. I was trying to go through the notes to remember if I had done specifically any of these things. I know I didn't talk about my background or my heritage. Drives and beliefs, I'm not quite sure if I mentioned it.
But you kind of did, because you kind of told me that your character's whole thing is like she's a prostitute, yet she never seems to actually have sex with her clients, yet somehow she gets paid to do it. It's a very odd thing that she's managed to do, and it's mostly just a front to be a criminal. Give yourself 1 more XP for you did that so unbelievably well, where you tricked everyone into doing what you wanted them to do without having to get your hands
dirty.
I'm going to say sticky, but yeah.
Okay, gross.
So there you go.
I'll take
there's
it.
your 3, and you have 3 others ticked, but that would not give you enough to go for a playbook advancement. So there's no point moving anything around now.
3 others ticked as in my...
Well, you have 2 in resolve and 1 in prowess due to desperate actions.
Oh, I see.
So if you wish to, you could move those to playbook advancement, but you would still not have enough to advance. So it really wouldn't make a difference.
I need someone to
Gotcha.
check the
Okay.
tapes and see if I did 4 desperate actions or 3.
We will listen to those
I was
later, and
Pretty on top of making sure you got yours. So unless you didn't mark one, but I know I called them
I don't know
out
if I
each
marked
time.
the last one. I can't remember.
Well, you know what? It doesn't make a difference for today.
No, it doesn't.
And we will, when we proof listen to that episode before it comes out, we'll check
We
that
can always
tape.
retcon.
All right. What does Lila, the darling Driggs, do with her downtime activity?
So I have 4 stress as well. So I'm going to indulge my vice.
Good luck.
Hell yeah.
Offload some of that. Let's see how it goes. Oh, no.
Go ahead and click that X next to
What'd you get, Christy?
stress.
What was your roll?
So I rolled a 6.
Oh,
which is 2 more than I'm supposed to. So I
good roll though. You know.
Yeah, I mean, great roll.
overindulged quite a bit.
Bad timing.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and talk about what happens here. Your choices are attract trouble, select or roll an additional entanglement, brag, get +2 to heat, lost or tapped. A mention, by the way, is that we do need to roleplay this out. Your vice is what now?
Luxury.
How would you overindulge with luxury?
I gotcha. So I'm going to head down to the clothiers somewhere
I was about to
nearby.
say the local haberdashery.
Uh-huh. This shop is called Rags to Bitches.
Wow.
It's where all of the highest consorts like to shop. And I'm going to brag
You see
about...
Nyx, by the way, out back pulling some stuff out of the trash.
Yeah, I'm basically bragging about coming up on some money and having so much to spend. Now, I just don't know which silks to choose. I mean, should I do the blue? Should I do the red? Maybe I'll do both. What do you guys think? I'm doing so well for myself these days. It's kind of insane.
So rags to bitches, which we're going to go ahead and say, let's see, who works there? What's their name?
Ooh.
He or she or them, or what's their deal?
He
Okay.
named Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
More
you
like
have-
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew. Well, you have been
Bartholomew.
doing quite well for yourself now, haven't you, Lila? My,
Yes.
I don't know if you could possibly, well, maybe you could afford all of these things. How?
Well, just between you and me, she leans in really close. I've come across a few odd jobs outside of my normal work that have been very lucrative for me.
Bartholomew puts his hand to his mouth. How scandalous.
I know, but just between us.
He leans in.
Don't tell anyone.
Tell me more. And you
Okay.
tell him something. We won't go into the specifics because I don't want you to trap yourself into something where I say that you said something you didn't. But you do that. Okay, your crew gets 2 more heat. Not the end of the world, because nothing really happens with that yet. But that is what happens when you overindulge. You got 0 stress though. That's pretty good. So you're
good.
you're looking
So-
good going into your next thing.
We have 2 downtime activities, correct?
Right. So you can all do one more, and we don't really have to like play them out like we did last time. Just everyone decide what you want to do.
Well, how do we get rid of some of our heat?
You can reduce heat.
I
Yeah, I want to
thinking
do
about
that.
Perfect.
I didn't think I was going to be the cause of some of it. But
That's okay.
I also would like to reduce it.
Don't forget. I will also mention that both Christy's character and Jake's character have injuries. So you also might want to do your healing clocks, because your injuries make you roll less dice when performing activities that I deem
Would need that or require it.
less effect. Sorry, not less dice.
Okay, so would that be recover then?
Yeah.
I would
Right.
need to do?
Yeah,
Okay.
that might
All
be
right,
a good
well then
idea.
can
But
someone else handle the heat?
yeah, other people can handle the heat because there's non-injured people in your party.
Yeah, I'll try to lower the heat.
All right, Matt, why don't you just do that real quick? We'll get yours out of the way.
All right, how do I do that?
There is not a button that says that, so I have to read to you this thingy, and this thingy says downtime, reduce heat. Roll your action. So you get to choose an action, and
Okay.
you can reduce heat according to the result of the level. So you take the highest result. So you get to choose one of your actions and just say how you're going to reduce heat doing that. So what is it that you think you would do as a lurk to reduce heat on the job you just pulled?
I would try to like plant some evidence, like sneak around and plant some evidence just on anybody else's property, just to get some of it off of us.
Okay.
Like put some footprints like leading up to kind of like retrace my steps and put some footprints leading from kind of where we would have come from going to other places and then
Yeah. So just click your prowl button and then you can tell me how it goes based upon your roll.
Okay. Controlled. I guess it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just roll it.
You tell me.
I rolled a 1, 2, and a 4.
Got a 4. Okay. So this says for 4, you reduce 2 heat.
Oh,
so
sweet.
there you go. That took care of the overindulgence that Christy accidentally did.
All right.
That's okay. It's better than being stressed out and unable to function.
Yeah.
And
I got rid of those.
Yep. So reduce heat. There you go. Excellent.
I did it already.
Thank you. And then Christy, you said you want to do your healing clock.
Yeah. So how does that work?
Recover. Get treatment to tick your healing clock like a long-term project. Recover is like a long-term project. Your healer rolls Tinker. If it's a PC or if you go to a Physiker, you roll their tier. So I'm going to go ahead and say that you would go to a Physiker because none of you have none of you are a Tinker and none of you have the Physiker ability. So you guys know a Physiker. There's Melvir, which is the guy who stitched up Brian's character in the beginning.
Okay. Then I go visit him.
Yeah, he is at best a tier 1 doctor.
Okay.
Or Physiker.
Can I also
go ahead
when she gets there? Because I have a twisted ankle.
Yeah, you guys can do this at the same time. So when you show up, Arlo is already there. And he is yanking your ankle back into place. Both of you go ahead and roll roll a single dice.
So 1d6, okay. Hell yeah.
Awesome.
I rolled a 6.
Nice.
I rolled a 2.
Yeah, he pops that ankle right into place. So Jake, I'll tell you about that. It states a 6, you heal 3 segments, and if you decide to make it a critical, you would heal all the segments. But you'd have to spend a coin to do that. Do you want to just heal 3, or do you want? 3 is pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What the hell? Okay. Yeah. No, I'm not going to spend that. So I still have a twisted ankle, but I'm not. But I'm close to being fully healed.
Yeah. He pops that thing right into place, and then just goes, "You should stay off of it or don't, whatever." Next. And
excuse me, I have a much more severe injury here. If you could please, I have this cut on my finger.
He sticks his finger inside of your cut.
Oh, ouch.
That's probably going to get infected now.
Why would you do that?
And then he coughs on it.
Oh my
Melvir.
God.
We're all there, right? That's what we're saying.
If you want to be, sure. You're not injured, but you can be there. Sure. You know the guy. This is where you probably do drugs.
Yeah. Well, this is where he came after he had the nasty meat.
Yeah,
He's
right.
like, I need real drugs now.
Yeah. Okay. So, Christy, for you, a 2 for Lila states 1 segment. So that's all you get.
Great. I would like to speak to a manager if I could. Do you have a manager or someone I could talk to about your bedside manner? This is actually not that great of
We
a
don't
job
have
you just
beds
did.
here. You look around, he doesn't. They're just chairs and they're dirty.
I don't want beds. I want a manager. Your boss? Someone in charge?
He doesn't have a manager. He is the manager.
Yes, he owns this place.
Well, I will not be returning. Thank you very much. And she leaves with her finger way up in the air, like it's still being babied.
All right. Call me.
I won't.
Phones don't exist in this world.
Call me is just them yelling down the street.
Yeah. He looks over at you, Rufus, Brian's character, and goes, "So you picking up on that too? I think she's kind of into me."
Oh yeah. Is that what you're picking up?
Oh yeah. You saw the way she let me stick my finger in her wound.
Yeah, and she didn't let you do anything. That was weird, dude. You were weird.
Oh, did I do it again?
You were being weird again.
Has he ever stopped being weird?
Well, we're working on it, aren't we? Hey, there's always more weird fish in the sea.
There's always more poisonous rotfish in the sea.
Poisonous rotfish in the sea.
That's right. I'm going to go see if I can infect somebody else's wound.
Yeah. Do you have any, I got a headache. Do you have anything that I could take for the road?
Yeah. Are you rolling your last action? You got
no,
one more
I guess
thing
I was
you
just
can do.
I guess I was just making conversation. I wanted to actually reduce heat.
Okay. How would you reduce heat?
So just
You
maybe
would-
you
you
explained
get
this
to
already.
roll-
Who
Yep.
who is I guess putting the heat on us? Like, where's the heat coming from? I guess
The blue coats. There
the
are
blue coats.
Yeah, so like the Imperial Army, the City Council, the Blue Coats, the local governments.
Okay.
They
So-
will find you and put you in jail.
Okay, so I would find, I guess, like a tavern or a pub or just like some meeting place where blue coats meet after work, or even on their lunch shift, looking for a little 2-beer lunch. And I would kind of hang out in an alleyway or nearby, and then I am going to use my pet wolf, and I am going to use one of my special abilities.
Okay. What are you going to roll?
I am going to say, so I'm going to use Mind Link, because what I want to do is I want to go into the play, and the dog's just going to like walk in, just kind of like walking around, like act like he's like looking for scrap, right? But he's actually like eavesdropping. And what I want to just hear what they're talking about. If they're talking about us, things we should avoid, places we should avoid, things like that, like picking up on some inside information.
And where is he doing this? It's
Just a tavern where the blue coats hang out.
Oh, okay, awesome. All right.
And it's going to be a survey roll.
Sure. I mean, you can probably use hunt because you're gathering information about something.
Oh, yeah, it does say gather information. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. You use hunt. I'm supposed to help you guys get the most out of stuff when possible.
Thank you. What kind of
and
roll would
nothing.
this be?
None of that matters. Just click through it. Because it's not controlled. It's not this. It's not that. You're just rolling the dice.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
What'd you
There
get,
we
Brian?
go. I got a 6, a 3, and a 4.
Nice.
It's about time.
Nice.
About fucking time.
There you go.
Reduce heat. A 6 equals 3. You reduce a total of 3 heat. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce those heat real quick. You only have 1 heat now. So when this is all said and done, you guys, at the end of this, only took 1 heat, made some money, accidentally released the ghost of a deceased friend into the void who seems super spooky and wants to hurt you. Maybe not. Who knows? Got hurt. Lila, somebody figured your wound. That was weird. And one last thing happens before we leave for today's episode, and that is we see somewhere, we don't know where this is exactly happening, but we see Nyrix. She is sitting in a tavern, very noir style, wearing all of her fine furs and has an exceedingly long cigarette. Her legs are just much longer than any normal human's legs should be. Yet somehow they just go on forever. And she speaking to somebody who is wearing a large brimmed hat whose face you can't see. And she leans in and she says, "Well, when I was out back of Rags to Bitches, ensuring that everything was appropriate, I may have heard something about Lila coming into some money.